No, but still, like...
Exceptions don't make the rule.
No, but...
I think that's what's happening right now.
No, times are just changing.
It's making the exceptions the rule.
So?
It causes complete chaos and like confusion with people. Life is already difficult and complicated enough.
If you don't want it to notice it, just don't notice it. If you don't want to be here...
If you're going to send your kids to school and you're going to end up with some weird-ass information and they're going to come home and talk about all this sexual shit while they're 5 years old, there's no reason for them to have any of that information.
No, because it's not talked about in school. When you're 5 years old.
It is.
No, when you're 5 years old. Where?
People that are boys, there's people that are girls. There are people whose gender might be a little bit of both or might even be neither.
Lessons include books about transgender children. Another blaring example, drag queen story time. It's happening in Canada and America, where some public schools and libraries invite drag queens, some dressed like horned demons, to read to young children.
All right, so what is going on here? This is Goose Bumps Global, and he was at a women's march in Amsterdam, I believe, on International Women's Day, interviewing people. And I want to get to this video sooner. I wanted to do it last month in March, because March is International Women's History Month or something crazy like that. And this happened in March. But my schedule just didn't work out that way. So we're going to take a look at it now. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure that you're still subscribed. You can find me over on Rumble and on Twitter. You can also find me on BitChute and Odyssey. Let's dive into this video and see what we can pull out of it.
So I'm wondering, what rights are you fighting for? Why you're here? Or basically just a big why.
It's a feminist march, so it's everything.
Everything.
Yeah, you can stand there for, I don't know, feminism, stop vagina tax, like...
Sorry? Vagina tax?
Vagina tax, you know? We have to pay for a tampon.
Vagina tax?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, we have to pay for tampons and products.
Okay, fair enough. I get that.
Yeah,
So it says feminism is anything. Feminism is everything, I guess. That doesn't make any sense. If it's anything and everything, then it's nothing all at the same time. Feminism is pro-physics. Well, all right, that's fine. You should probably be pro-physics, since that's how the universe operates. At least apparently that's how the universe operates. She wants to stop the vagina tax. Okay, there's no such thing as a vagina tax. Oh, we have to pay for tampons. I've covered this in a video from years ago now. The fact of the matter is that only like 25% of women have a period. Not overall, but I mean, like, at any one point in time, only about 25% of the female population has a period. I did the math. And it might be more than that, but I mean, it's not even 50%, because you got to consider that women stop having a period at some point in time. They don't start having a period until they're a teenager, typically, right? So not all women have to have tampons, and we have to pay for toilet paper. I mean, it's unfortunate that you have this bodily function that you have to pay for. I understand that. And guess who tends to pay for that? If you had a family unit, like you should, who would be paying for that while you were a teenager? Could it possibly be your father? Yeah, maybe. What do you know? When you get married, could it possibly be your husband paying for that? Yeah, okay. These idiots. Always going to be a problem. Oh, we're taxed because we had different bodies and men. That's how it works.
So whatever you want to stand for, you can stand.
So I can stand here for bricks being green?
I mean, sure, if you want.
That's really stupid.
Seems odd. Wouldn't you think that's odd?
Yeah, sure, but if it's your standpoint, it is yours, and you should be proud of it.
Okay, so you can literally think anything, say anything, and people will be like, you go, girl.
Yeah.
That would delete all value from it, right?
No.
Why not? If you can literally say anything, there's only value in scarce things. That's the thing with supply and demand.
If you say bricks are green because feminism, sure.
It doesn't make any sense, does it?
No, it doesn't.
There's inequality for bricks. All men must die?
All men must die.
Why you want me?
Okay, so all men must die. I have to address this. This woman has a sign that she's holding that says all men must die, and she's smiling about it. Look at her humongous smile. She's like elated at the notion that men must die. I have been told by authoritative sources, and by authoritative sources I mean idiots on the internet, that when women say that, it's a joke. But when men say the same about women, it's not a joke. Does not seem like it's a joke, does it? I mean, how is this a joke when you're actually marching at a rally with a sign that says this? That's not a joke. I've never seen this thought expressed as a joke in any way. I've never even seen a man express the opposite. But when men do it, it's always serious. And I've never seen a man do that. So I don't know what... I'm not saying that it hasn't happened. I'm sure there are some men out there who really do feel this way. I'm sure there are some men out there who have made jokes regarding this. But I've never seen a man make this statement about women. So...
Me dead.
Yeah.
You don't have any knives on you, right?
No, I'm not gonna kill them. I'm not gonna kill the men. They're going to abolish themselves in the end, eventually.
Why is that?
Well, because patriarchy, which is also a man-made thing.
You believe we live in a patriarchy?
I think so. You don't think so?
I don't.
Oh, we live in a patriarchy, but you can walk around with a sign that says to get rid of all men. Violently, most likely.
Think so anymore.
Oh, what do you think you're living in then?
Matriarchy, that's like the women thing, right?
Oh, are you for real? That's why...
Women have more rights nowadays than men, maybe.
Okay, but that's why we still haven't had the president of the United States ever being a woman, and that's why men are still getting paid.
I'm talking about the United States.
And that's
We can drive, we can vote, we can work. What more do these broads want?
They're in Amsterdam. Europe has had several heads of nation that were women over the years. And being president does not show equality of the genders. It doesn't. It just means that women are stupid enough to take on a role that they shouldn't be taking on. They should be focusing on family and children more than anything. When they get older, of course, they don't have that much input in that situation, but they still should have input. You know, they have the wisdom. They've seen the world from more perspectives than the younger people have because they're older. That's just how it works. But yeah, saying that there's never been a female president does not mean that there's a patriarchy. That's ridiculous. I did a video about this years ago too.
Okay, well, in the Netherlands, every other 8 days, a woman gets killed because of femicide.
Oh, how often do men get killed because of matricide?
What happens to men every now and then?
Tell me.
Oh, men are told to be killed. I don't see any men here around here telling people women
This
should
is
die.
maybe the first time that openly they are being told to be killed, and I think that that time will come.
What is feminism for you?
Feminism for me mostly is breaking free from specific gender norms that, well, limits both men and women in, well, general life. Like having men be like, you can't cry, or you have to always be at the gym. And for women, for example, you have to mostly work in like care industries, like being a nurse at certain hospitals. I just want.
All right, this individual is talking about biology. Men can't cry. That's not a social construct. That is a woman construct. Women look down on men who cry. Women are not as attracted to men who cry, especially if they turn into a blubbering mess. If you have like a few tears fall out of your eyes at a sad situation, but you keep on trucking, that's probably okay by most women's standards. But if you're gonna like break down into tears and just be uncontrollable, unconsolable, and then you're talking about women have to work in caregiving roles. Well, you have to ask the question: do women want to work in those roles? Because last time I checked, we had free market here in Amsterdam. Right? You got a free market. You can do whatever you want to do. You can work any job you want to work. You go, girl. You can do anything a man can do. You can do it better. Well, then why is it that women are gravitating towards caregiver roles? Oh, I know what they're going to say. It's societal norms that are pressuring women to go into these roles. Except these northern European countries, Sweden, Denmark, the Netherlands, they had like achieved the highest level of balance between the genders out of any countries in the entire world. And what we find is there's a greater disparity in jobs worked. There's more women going into caregiver roles when you make the world more equal. What do I know, though? I'm not some sort of person pretending to be the opposite gender. This person obviously has more authority than I do because they are pretending to be somebody they are not.
People to be free to have their own choices. At the moment, that's very difficult because, well, besides just general cultural norms, we are also, in the economic space, we're also quite limited sometimes. Like, women are still, for example...
You say we. So you identify as a woman?
Not completely, but...
So what do you identify as, if I may ask?
Not really much at the moment. Mostly men, some bit of women, but I don't care.
You're figuring out, or... Okay. Yeah. How does that work, figuring out something like that?
It's mostly just trying to basically question the kinds of thoughts and ideas you have.
Okay, because I was born with a penis, and I figured I'm probably a dude, and I kind of stick to that, and I'm fine with that. But I guess it's not the same for some people.
Yeah, for some people it's like, okay, I was born with a penis. I hate that thing, and it feels weird to have it.
I don't actually think that this idea that we all have the freedom to do whatever we want or something actually really exists. I think there are real material factors which restrict that freedom. Like, for example, like working women face heaps of violence against them. Like both
Men have never been subject to violence ever in the entire history of humanity. Only women are the victims of violence. That's how it works. And it's worse when they go to work. And look, I know that women have been assaulted at work, have been horribly assaulted, and probably even ended by a man at work. Men have suffered the same fate, though. This is not a one-sided argument. It happens to everybody.
Structural, systemic, and like in their relationships and stuff, and there's no proper societal support to fight against that violence because it's just not profitable.
Okay.
And we also see that people from like the LGBTQ community and stuff like that also face this violence very frequently. I've faced this violence.
What kind of violence, if I may ask?
For example, slurs levied against me.
Words are not violence, so get over yourself. And guess what? You're never going to believe this. Me, anti-woke warrior. I know this is going to be a shocker for everybody out there watching. I am a straight white male. I've always been a straight white male my entire life. I've been called names before. Shocking, I know. It never happens to straight white men, I know. It's only LGBTQ and women who get attacked like this, but yeah, okay. I've been horrendously picked on, teased, insulted repeatedly throughout my life, even as an adult. So don't even give me this crap.
People telling me to get out of it. And when I lived in Australia, I've had people say like, "Oh, I'll kill you if you keep talking to me like that," or something like that.
Like what?
I was just being who I am, and they just sort of.
What is being who you are?
Just dressing in the way that I dress, like talking with my friends, hang out with my friends, and they sort of got into a bit of an altercation with us, and then.
They didn't appreciate the way you dress or the way you. Okay, I'm against any violence. I think we should respect any people that dress any way they want or whatever.
You can be against that violence, but saying that is just like sort of almost a non-statement without actually looking at the real material underlying factors for that violence and the system which perpetuates and shapes that violence.
The thing is, we teach people not to steal and be kind, but there's still dickheads out there in the world and stealing.
Yeah,
so there's a part on your own responsibility.
But why are they stealing?
Sorry?
I'm assuming you're talking about like petty theft, right? People stealing a phone, people stealing a
robbing banks or any kind of violence, whatever. We also teach people not to rape, and of course there's people still going to be raping or making a fool out of anyone. So don't you think there's a part of your own responsibility too?
I feel as though you're acting as though it's a given that these things happen, but it's not a given that these things happen. There are real material underlying reasons and pressures for this happening. Yeah. Like someone who, for example, steals $20, right? Probably they need the $20. Probably it's because they're poor, or unemployed, or whatever, right? Yeah. So that's the reason, right? There's an underlying factor. So then you look at
there's a reason why they're poor.
Yeah.
Maybe they made a few very bad decisions.
That's kind of putting an individual responsibility.
We all have individual responsibility, right? I mean, saying that we wouldn't have any responsibility would be kind of naive.
Okay, to be honest, I don't really think this is a very productive discussion.
Yeah. So this guy, he's just going off about how he thinks that theft, that crime won't exist at all. If we can just rebuild the culture, civilization, and there will be no crime, no violence, no degrading language or anything like that. And this is not realistic. People are going to always do things that are counter to other people. That's how people are. I mean, you see adults mistreating children. What do they get out of mistreating children? They get nothing other than some sort of emotional gratification, right? But there you go. That happened. So if it's going to happen when there's such a great power dynamic, it's going to happen from adult to adult too.
All men work for females, you know that?
Is it?
It is.
How does that work?
How would you think it works? If you would have to take a wild guess with where I'm going.
I know that all men come from females and that...
Okay, but that doesn't answer my question.
First we were all female.
And what does it have to do with all men working for females? Because I think it works that way.
I don't know where you want to go.
You know why? Because all men, they want to work, they want to earn money, maybe have a nice car, maybe some don't, but eventually, all of us, we want to have a female and we want to give our resources towards providing for our family, our wives, or whatever.
If you have a heterosexual image as the main image of the country...
It is the majority.
Yes, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that this was a made-up social construct. Heteronormativity was this made-up social construct that exists only because of patriarchy. That's my apologies.
Exceptions don't make a rule.
Yeah, I understand you, but I've got a different way. I've got a different view on reality.
When a man makes his wealth and he gathers his resources, he gives out towards his family, his children. When a woman makes her money, she's like, I'm an independent woman.
What is the source that you got this information from? Your own life?
Reality is a very good source, I would agree. It's been working like that for hundreds of years, isn't it? You read history books, that's your source.
I don't know. I'm not here to emphasize your ideas about reality. If you want me to emphasize those ideas, I don't know if we have a real conversation.
There's still a gender wage gap, but they're basically marketing themselves as being progressive.
I mean, you kind of fix the gender wage gap if everyone is just whatever, right?
Well, if
somewhat. How many different genders and sexualities are there?
I don't know. I really don't know.
What's the difference between a gender and a sexuality?
Sexuality is who you fall for and how you feel about other people, and gender is what you feel.
What you feel?
Yeah.
Wow! I feel good! What is a woman?
What is a woman? I don't know.
Then what is a man?
I don't know.
Then what if they're...
So yeah, this is really, really great content. This is what these people really think. And we've seen this since Ketanji Brown Jackson thing. It's like, wow, you don't know what a woman is? You don't know what I can't define a woman. Oh, can you define a dog? No, I don't know what a dog is. Oh, You know, words exist for a reason. They are the definitions. They're the shorthand definition of things.
There's no differences. Why is there even a point on naming it?
Because people want it to be named.
But if you can't even explain the difference between a man and a woman, why do we even have names for it anymore? I believe there is a difference.
Traditionally, you have a man and a woman. A man has a penis and a woman has a vagina, right?
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
Thanks for the tip.
Yes, exactly.
But times are changing. You have people that have like a penis and also a vagina.
It's like a very small percentage, right?
Yeah, it's a medical thing, but still.
You shouldn't exclude them. I completely agree.
It's just times are changing. Now you have people with a penis and a vagina. This has probably been happening for thousands and thousands of years, tens of thousands of years, ever since human beings became humans. Hermaphrodites have been born. Now, most hermaphrodites, it's my understanding, most hermaphrodites, they present completely as one gender or the other. Like, completely. Like, if on an external examination, you would not know the difference. You have to look internally to see that they have different internal organs or different chromosomes somehow. This is just, like, the rare exception is going to be born with both fully developed male and female genitals. Like, incredibly rare exception. And even they identify as one gender or the other. They have one dominant side versus the other. So, whatever.
There's a lot of propaganda around this movement, and I'm not sure if this benefits people in terms of equality, and I think it's actually dividing more people rather than sticking people together. What do you think about that?
Well, it depends on what kind of propaganda you mean.
For example, platforms like Netflix and Vice, how do you view those platforms actively promoting this?
I see it as, for some, of course, there's going to always be a component people who actually want more change, but I also am always skeptical of corporations trying to make changes like that, because, well...
It's becoming kind of corporate, isn't it?
In some ways, yes.
Yeah. You think it would be better if all men would die?
Well, for a lot of things it would be better, yeah.
Who's going to fix your bike? Or your car? Because I don't see you doing it.
Well, yeah, maybe then I should walk soon.
Maybe you should. It's really weird, I gotta say.
We are actually thinking that time of nuance and time of conversation about change is, it's not really making change.
Oh, really? You mean women don't have the right to vote? Women don't have equal pay? Women don't have the ability to go into any profession that they want to? They don't have equal rights, which they, always, they have more than equal rights. They have more rights than men do. Women can hold any position in society, period, that they want to. But we need to have violence now because all the talking that we've done over the years has not worked.
We have the same rights here in a country like this. Men and women get the same pay, we can do the same things, we can get the same jobs. I'm not saying all around the world, I'm saying here it's definitely very, very equal, if not more beneficial for females.
The things on paper are always different than the things in reality. It's really hard. I lost now what I was saying, actually.
Very sorry for that.
Yeah, I
don't remember your brain.
Yeah. Okay, no, you but it.
But something I think is that the men that do hurt women are usually very insecure and weak men. So what I do is I would like to make my male friends stronger, to help them mentally, physically, to become a better and stronger and less insecure, a more confident person, so they will be more kind and more giving towards the people around them, male and female. So I think I'm doing my part on there. And there's no point in trashing men like this and making them more insecure, because that's eventually the reason why they are hurting females or any person around them.
So we are making men insecure, and that's why
I'm saying it's a part of it.
I don't think that that's the truth, but I understand that.
You don't think it, I know it.
Well, maybe then you're the all-seeing eye.
Maybe I am.
Weak men feel offended because of this. Well, let them be, because it is time for them to feel offended, because it's time that it's going to end and it's going to change, and they need to...
See, the thing is, she lives in a delusion because it's already changed. And the fact that she can actually walk around with a sign like that, a demon head saying all men must not exist anymore. But there's no equality here, that she's oppressed, her thoughts are suppressed, everything about her is just, she's a victim.
Take care of their own feelings of feeling defended and weak and whatever it is that they're feeling, and let them do their work, let them do their homework in order to change as a human being in society.
Maybe she needs to work on herself and then do her homework. Because she's obviously the one who is offended by men. She's offended by the mere existence of men.
I totally agree, but this is not the way I think. Let's make people stronger. I agree on that.
Yeah, but also being vulnerable and being soft is also a thing for men that is very hard to embrace, which is not being promoted by society at all. And I think that...
I think in the modern times it is, actually.
Well,
it's not being promoted by women. Women, in fact, are denigrating that behavior, so...
I think let's go on with it.
And that's making men weaker. It's not necessarily helping.
Maybe we should work together as a team in order to make men harmonious living creatures.
How would you recommend doing that? Is that only by education?
I think domination of the male is the solution.
So there are matriarchal societies that do exist in the world. Guess what? They live in tribes. They have no technology. Why? Because the men have nothing to strive for. Whether a man builds himself up and earns $1 million in that tribe, equivalent to what it would be. I'm not, obviously not talking literally. Or if he just stays a homeless pauper, he gets the same treatment because he does not have the ability to attract a woman with his advantages, whatever those advantages may be.
But do you understand why this is necessary?
I believe that it was necessary a very long time ago, but I think equality is a very normal thing here.
It's still necessary. We're standing here because it's still necessary.
There's also people...
It would be great if we wouldn't have to fight for it, but we still have to. We're fighting about women all over the world.
Women all over the world. You marching in Amsterdam has no effect on Iran, Iraq, anywhere in the Middle East, or anywhere in Africa, anywhere in South America, anywhere in Asia at all, period, where these women are supposedly so oppressed. And I'm not saying that they're not, but you walking around in Amsterdam complaining about how men are is not going to change things in those countries.
We're fucking killed. We have no life choice because of their gender that they don't even choose.
You're walking away. I would love to talk to you.
I said what I need to say.
This is very common.
Well, I think at some point there's no point to discuss it.
This is easy fighting, right? Let's say you are an insecure person and you might be a little confused and you hear all these things in the media. Don't you think that might be harmful?
No.
You don't think?
No, because if you really feel that way, you can change yourself, and maybe if it's just temporary. Like, if I'm a girl, right? And if I want to be a boy, I can just cut my hair and feel gender euphoria.
What? He rewinded this. Let's see if he's gonna play it again.
Just because of their gender that they don't even choose.
Gender euphoria is that you feel right in your body.
You feel right in your body.
Yep.
I feel that because I'm happy being a dude.
Yeah, exactly.
People are so stupid. I mean, can anybody out there please tell me what it feels like to be a woman? Can anybody out there please tell me what it feels like to be a man? Can you do that for me? Anybody? Just go ahead and leave a comment down below. Tell me what it feels like to be your... What if you're one of these made-up fey genders or whatever? You know, tell me what that feels like.
I don't think everything shown in the media, like transgender, non-binary, is really that harmful to kids because it has been a big thing for years.
It's become a bigger thing in the past few years, thanks to the media.
No, because it's more noticeable.
I think it is a bigger thing than it was because of the media.
Because people are speaking out on it.
But you just said it wasn't.
No, but it has become bigger, but it really hasn't become bigger.
This is kind of how marketing works. So if you see more of a thing, someone that might be insecure will be like, hey, that's me.
Okay.
If you go to, for example, Google Trends. Have you ever used Google Trends? Trends? Not trends?
No.
Trends? You can search any keyword and you can see how it developed over the past few years in popularity and how many people search for it. These kind of subjects is something that people are actively searching a lot more because it's more in the media. And there's all kinds of big media companies that actively push this.
Yeah, okay. So where are you going with this?
That it might be a slightly evil plan to divide people, because I think it's dividing more people than it's bringing people together.
Well, how is it dividing people?
If you start labeling people with all kinds of words and genders and sexualities that are kind of irrelevant for the real world, you are dividing people. Because people are going to be pointing fingers at each other and fighting for rights.
People want words for different things. People want to hear non-binary. People want to hear trans. People want to hear, I don't know, asexual. Because they have to put a label on it. People are literally putting labels on everything.
Yeah, that's a bad thing.
And if you don't, then people will start to get mad. And
you're more than a label, right?
I'm more than a label.
Exactly.
But you know what? I wear labels proud and loud. I don't care.
What kind of labels do you wear, if I may ask?
I'm bi.
Bi?
I'm bi.
As in bisexual?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not like I'm screaming it across the room like, hey, I'm bi. But
That's
I am proud, you know? I'm proud in my sexuality.
But it doesn't really matter, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, I agree.
So is being bi inherent or not? Because being proud of inherent characteristics is really stupid. So I don't know what the proper politically correct way of thinking about bisexuality is today. Is it, like I said, is it inherent? Is it something that you decide to do?
But you're really annoying.
Why am I annoying?
I don't know, you're just really annoying.
I'm asking difficult questions, or?
No, not that, but you're just annoying.
Why am I annoying?
No, no.
You should have an answer on why I'm annoying, otherwise I really cannot accept...
Okay, it's just that you're going from right to left. Like, you're all over the place. One thing...
You guys are all over the place.
The girl said that feminism is anything, says that he's all over the place. Yeah.
Maybe we can help you, and maybe he will help you if there is a more positive and harmonious approach towards the female side in people.
I think I'm very respectful towards women, actually.
Great, and then probably women are also more respectful to you. And
Yeah,
you
most
understand
of them.
this is a reaction as well.
Towards the very small portion of men that are not here. Seems kind of pointless.
Well, if you are a man and you like this to stop, then you can maybe also tell your fellow men and friends to behave in a different way in order to make a more harmonious society, past patriarchy, past matriarchy, in where people are all equal.
A few minutes later.
Do you think we can find any nuance here?
I don't know if...
This woman wants men to change their behavior. She wants him to go and change his male friend's behavior. But I can tell you this right now. I don't associate with people who mistreat women. I don't associate with people who mistreat other people. Like if I know that you mistreat other people, I don't want to have anything to do with you. That's not what I want to be around.
we want to. Do you want to?
I would actually.
Why?
I'm not a person that likes to divide people. I like people to come together and do fun stuff and thrive. And I don't think this is a net positive to that.
Well, because you always have been on the good side of the medal. So it's time also for other people that
Spread hate?
I'm not spreading definitely hate. I'm just I'm looking for other options.
I don't hate you. You hate me, I think. You can't tell me why I'm annoying. You don't have to talk to me.
But I want to because
it's important for both of us.
Yeah.
So it's good to have this conversation.
Prove your points and I want to prove mine.
I didn't really want to prove it.
Yeah, it seems like you do.
I'm just trying to make sense of things.
Okay.
But it seems very hard if anything is possible and everything is okay. And if there's no boundaries, then you can't really make sense of things and everything is just...
Why do you want boundaries?
Is that really a question? Without boundaries, you cause complete chaos.
Okay.
And with all these people on the planet, you need some sort of standard. And if everyone's just gonna say, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I have a penis and I'm identifying as this, and I don't really see the point.
Okay.
Because usually, the amount of people that are actually the wrong body is so small.
Yeah, okay, but like, why does it bother you so much?
Like I said, for the young people, for the next generation, I can shut my eyes and not give a fuck.
Maybe you should.
Don't you think that your sexuality is a private thing and that you shouldn't necessarily have to walk around and advertise it?
No.
I'm not saying you do that.
No, like...
I'm saying in general.
Different people express themselves differently. Everyone does.
So that makes anything okay. I'm sure you can think of a few things that would be okay to express yourself as.
I mean, if you, I don't know, like pedos or stuff, that's too far.
Exactly.
That's too far. But everyone knows that. And everyone,
I mean, there's
almost
also
everyone
people
thinks
disagreeing
that.
on that. I'm happy with
Yeah,
you.
exactly. Exactly. But like, it's okay to...
Now you see why boundaries are important, right?
I get that. I get that. Why do you want boundaries?
Gotcha, bitch. What are we gonna do? I'm gonna help my friends, my male friends, be stronger, so they attack less women, because that's what all men are doing. What are you gonna do?
I'm actually making a theater play called All Men Must Die.
Now, chapter 7. Divorce is a 4-letter word. How could he leave me?
I don't know. You seem lovely.
So that's basically the end of it. I mean, there's not much else that's important in this video. I just wanted to draw attention to this and show that there are these crazy people out there that actually do exist in the world, and you can find them on the streets. It's not just limited to the internet, to Twitter, etc. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.